Welcome back, mamas. Y'all, we are going to follow up to Tuesday's episode. If you did not listen, go back and listen. And today is about what to do when things don't go as planned. When things aren't going the way that you had planned, what is it that we should do? So let's get to it. Do you wish you had control of your days, that you had a rhythm, but instead feel overwhelmed, scattered, and like there's never enough time? You're in the right place. I'm Danielle, a recovering workaholic, wife, and stay-at-home mom of two girls. I've learned how to reclaim my time and find purpose and freedom so I can be present with my kids and feel like myself again. Here, we embrace where we are, but we don't stay there. So if you're ready to trade the chaos for clarity, the guilt for grace, and the endless to-do list for aligned flow, grab the kiddos a snack and toss in that laundry because I know you're multitasking, and let's do this because your time, your purpose, and you matter. Okay, mamas, so I'm excited to get into the action, right? I'm excited to kind of tell you guys what I believe you should do when things aren't going as planned. So we talked about my deck and all of the craziness that happened, right, to me over the weekend that made me think about you and made me remember back to when I feel like my life wasn't going as planned, right? I feel like my mom life was not going the way that I had planned it. I had taken the time to plan out exactly what I wanted to do, which was stay at home with my children. I wanted to be there for them. I did not want to go back to work. I wanted to be home with my babies and raise them. But something was missing. Something wasn't there. And I want to tell you what to do, what I feel like you should be doing when that happens. Okay. So I'm going to start with a quote. This one is from Bill Rancic that says, "When things don't go your way, never forget who you are and always remember the bigger picture." Never forget who you are and always remember the bigger picture. So for me, what that brings up is never forget who you are. So I felt like as a mom, I did not know who I was anymore. Like I had defined myself by my work up until the time that I became a mother. And then all of the sudden, it was like now I was defining myself as a mom. Like that's who I was. I was now a mom, and that was my like full-time job as far as I was concerned. And that's what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do that. It was not that I was wavering on whether or not I wanted to still be a stay-at-home mom. I knew I still wanted to do that. There was just something missing, and I couldn't figure out what it was or why. And I felt so lost. I felt so much like I didn't even know who I was anymore. I didn't even know who I was anymore, right? So it says, never forget who you are. So, what do you do when you feel like you don't even know who you are anymore, right? So, I want to talk to you a little bit about that today and also that bigger picture. Like, we need to remember that we wanted this, right? So, we know we are confident in our decision that we want to be there to raise our babies. We want to be there for them. We want to be the ones that are home with them, that are doing all of the things that they are learning from, right? Like we want that to be from us. So that is the bigger picture. We want that to be. But when you take a step back even further and you look at, okay, bigger picture, am I happy? Am I happy? Am I going to be raising these children the way that I feel like I would like to raise them? Am I the person that I want them to see? Am I the person that I want them to grow up to be? Am I modeling the behaviors that I want them to have? And if you're looking at yourself and you're thinking, no, because I don't know who I am anymore, because I am frustrated all the time, because I am acting out of anger a lot of times. I'm getting frustrated and overwhelmed, and I feel like I am pulled in a million different directions. And I'm like the maid, I'm the cook, I'm the butler, I'm the, chauffeur, I'm all of the things at once. And I don't even know who I am anymore. And I'm not sure how to not be frustrated and overwhelmed and doubt myself and feel guilty and all of these things, right? And so we have to step back and look at the bigger picture and figure out who we are. Like, go back to our roots, right? That is what we need to do. We need to figure out what is the most important thing to us right now. What are the most important things? What is it that we want and why do we want it? What do we want our life to look like, right? Is it what it looks like right now? I don't know. Probably not if you're sitting there unsettled and feeling all of these feelings that you don't want to be feeling and being unhappy and feeling not fulfilled and not productive. I know when I started to recognize this and I started to pour myself into things that I thought would make myself happy and it wasn't working, then I just got deeper and deeper into this unhappiness to where I finally wound up in a depression because of it. And I want you not to wind up there, right? So you need to get clear on who you are in this moment of your life, right? Because most likely you haven't changed at the core, but you have changed a lot. A lot of things have changed in your life. And so you are different. The things that are important to you are going to be different. And so you need to get still and get clear and figure out what that is. I have another quote I want to share with you. And this is from Carl Jung. And it says, "Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes." He who looks outside dreams, but who looks inside awakes, right? We can look outside and we can dream. We can dream of all of these things and they are, almost wishes, right? They are wants, but if we look inside, we will awaken something, right? We look inside and figure out who we are and what we want and what is most important to us, then we can become awake and alive, right? We will be fulfilled when we are living in alignment with our values, with what's important to us. And when you're able to take a look at your life and prioritize the things that matter to you, it is unbelievably empowering and it will awaken you and you will come back to life. And I believe your days will go differently and you will be able to feel more fulfilled even when you don't have like those dreams or those things that you want that are coming in the future, like that you can work towards. Even before that, when you have taken the time to get clear and to get still and to figure this out, then you will be able to live in the daily fulfilled even though you aren't where you want to be. I have another quote I want to share from you. This one is from Confucius that says, "It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop." It doesn't matter how slowly we go, how slowly we get there, right? Like we just need to know that we're on the right path. We need to have an identity outside of just being a mother, right? We need to have an identity outside of that because as I talked about on Tuesday, and if you didn't listen, I would really encourage you to go listen because I really was getting into how we can get wrapped up in our kids' happiness. And then that is what makes us happy, as opposed to us being happy. And then we can be happy for our children and they can make us happy, right? But they aren't the only thing that is making us happy, right? We are not putting that pressure on them to make us happy, right? But when they're happy, then you're happy. And when they're not happy, you're not happy. That is unhealthy. That is an unhealthy balance there. There is no balance, right? It is all or nothing. And so that's what we want to avoid. And it's the figuring out what is going to make you happy that is sometimes the hardest part, right? I was doing all of the things I thought would make me happy, and they weren't making me happy because I hadn't taken the time to figure out who I was in this season, right? I hadn't taken the time to do that. And I know that can be hard. It's actually why I've developed my coaching program, right? So you can schedule a prioritization clarity call, and I will help you figure this out for yourself because I have walked this walk. I do not want you to make the same mistakes that I have made in the past. And when you take the time to do this for yourself, you will avoid those mistakes, right? You will avoid those mistakes. And I would love to help you do that. I would love to help you do that. And one of the things that I always do and always have done is to turn to God for my strength, to turn to God for my, groundedness, to figure out who I am through him. Who does he say you are? Right. And I wanted to read Proverbs 3, verses 5 and 6 that says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your path straight. So when you do not know, submit to God. Turn it over to him. Tell him, like, you throw your hands up and surrender, like whatever you need to do, and say, God, help me. Help me figure me out. Like, make my path straight, right? Like, I do not know what I do not know, and I cannot figure this thing out, right? Like, my mom life is a mess right now, and I need your help. I remember being there and submitting to him. That was the first step for me. So it may be the first step for a lot of you. And then to look internally and figure out what it was, what it is for you that is going to make you happy. What is that? And that's what I want to do with you. I will do the work with you if you sign up for a prioritization clarity call, that we can do it together. You can do this on your own. I mean, I did it on my own. It took me a really long time and it took me a lot of mistakes, but I promise you, I am guiding you. Like, even on this podcast, we're getting a granular level in the coaching. We really will get clear. And I know, you may be sitting there thinking, I am not sure. Like, what am I going to talk to you about? Like, how am I going to, if I can't even figure me out, how are you going to figure me out? And so I do have a process that we go through. It's not like I just ask you, okay, what do you think you need to work on? No, we really figure this out together. And it's done by, specific questions that I ask you. And, we really get into what your core values are and your strengths and different things like that. And I have a process that we figure that out together through, but it all starts with the call, right? You have to reach out for help. And a lot of times, that is another key, is that telling someone else, not sitting in it alone, not feeling so alone, because there are so many other moms out there that are going through, have gone through, will go through exactly what it is that you're going through right now. And so just know that you are not alone, and you don't have to do this alone, right? You do not have to do this alone. So I wanted to read one last quote from Jim Rohn that says, if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what? They have planned for you. Not much. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. When we don't take the time to plan for ourselves, when we don't take the time to get still because we don't think we have the time, right? When we don't do that, then we fall into someone else's plan. We fall into someone else's, someone else asks us. I know that's what happened to me. Someone's asking me to do this for them, or to do that for them, or to volunteer for this or to volunteer for that. And we're just saying yes to everyone and yes to everything, and trying to figure it out for ourselves and doing things that used to make us happy. And, before you know it, you are all over the place, right? And no one else is planning anything for you, right? They're planning for you to help them with whatever it is that they're needing done, right? Whether it's a charity or whether it's the school or whether it's, everyone has their own agenda. And that may be something that's important to you, is helping the school and helping out this charity and helping your church and helping here. But until you get still and figure out what you have time and capacity and all of this for, and what fits into your life at this moment, then you are really just almost like a puppet. You are you're in someone else's plan, right? And it's not your own. And so I do not want you to wind up where I did and become super unhappy. I was so unhappy. I was depressed, and it was a really awful place to be, especially to have to parent from. And I definitely did not want to make some of the decisions and the way that I acted and things that I said and the way I was parenting back then were not things that I would want anyone else to have to walk through, right? And so I want you to avoid that. I want to help you avoid that. And I am telling you, please just schedule a prioritization clarity call. This is not as much for me as it is for you. I mean, yes, I am not doing them for free, but I am telling you that if this is where you are, this is going to help you. And it is going to help you in such a way where I want you to be what you want to be for your family, right? I want the best for you. And so this call, we will do it together, and you do not have to. If you do have any questions or anything like that, please schedule a discovery call to find out if this is right for you, right? If you have any reservations or concerns or questions, just schedule a free discovery call with me and we will figure it out together. But I can almost bet that this will be, if you are still listening to me, this is something that will definitely help you get on the right path, and we can come up with that together. So prioritizewithpurpose.com/coaching will take you to the page where you can sign up. So I hope you found this helpful today. I hope you can use something from it. Please go to prioritizewithpurpose.com, sign up for a call, and I will talk to you back here next week. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, Mama. If so, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and then hit share and send this to a mom who needs this in her day. I'll meet you right back here next week. Keep smiling, y'all.